There are 4 kinds of comparison. Again, we're going to talk about compare and contrast, but I love the use of metaphors. We were just in a classroom using the metaphor strategy, and we were looking at the concept of prejudice. And the teacher gave the students 5 things that they had to compare prejudice with. How is prejudice like a whale? How is prejudice like a shadow? How is prejudice like an ice cube? How is prejudice like a tree? And how is prejudice like a mirror? And each group had to pick an item and developed it. And they said if prejudice was like a mirror or a whale or an ice cube, etc., how could we reduce prejudice? And they had to solve that problem and then write an essay about it. See, that's using metaphorical expression. But there's lots of different strategies, but the one that you really got to start with is you've got to get compare and contrast working. Some student work. Here's a 2nd grade, and they're analyzing 2 stories, the tortoise and the hare and the tortoise and the antelope. One story is from Africa, the Ngini tribe, and one story is Aesop's fable. And notice they have criteria or dimensions. That middle is critical. You see, is a mouse and an elephant more like each other or different than each other? See, comparison is always relative. They're both mammals, so you could say they're similar. They both have 4 appendages. There's a lot of similarities. So you need criteria, and criteria is critical for students. Criteria is critical for students to have when they do compare and contrast. So we've got to learn how to generate criteria, and students need to use criteria. And you use criteria first to describe the things you're looking at. It's always description first. So notice this student is describing the 2 stories, and the criteria they're using is the characters, why they decided to race, how the tortoise wins, and the lesson. This is a 1st grade class, and they're working. We gave them little magnifying glasses, and they love these penny magnifying glasses, and they love learning how to use them. And what they did is they studied the coins. And then we used the matrix. This is another kind of way of doing comparison. And they built all of this information on this matrix. Now, it's really interesting. After they studied the coins and they did the comparison of the different coins, we gave each pair of students a sock, 1st graders, and we put a coin in the sock. And they had to stick their hand in the sock and tell you what coin it was. And it was real easy after they examined the coins and they felt the edges and they did that. So they said, put more coins. So we put 3 coins in the sock. And they were able to tell us what the 3 different coins were, whether the same or the different, because they did a thorough analysis of the coin. And then we had kids in 1st grade started to add how much money was in the sock without even looking at it. That's the power, that's the possibility that happens.